So there's a reason why Samsung is called the Korean giant. Even though the company has their own mobile series, they're also into the business of supplying mobile components like camera sensors, displays, and even Exynos processors to some selected brands. If you aren't using a Samsung phone, there's still a good possibility that you are a customer to them, even if it has to link your preferred brand like Xiaomi, OnePlus, Huawei, or even Apple. Samsung displays act as a major supplier of high quality display to every other brand because the production line they are operating is capable of manufacturing a large number of components and fulfill the order without any hassle, which is impressive at their own level. Now we all know that Galaxy Note 20 has to stand up to some expectations because Apple is going to launch iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max with big improvements to displays like 120Hz refresh rate, which honestly happens because there's still a possibility that Apple might ditch this plan, and of course the reason is that they want it to be perfect and in every way they do not want to compromise with a single activity. So I was saying, if everything goes well and iPhone 12 Pro models come with a 120Hz refresh rate, it would be a nightmare for Android manufacturers because of the software. I mean, iPhones has that super smooth feedback even with a 60Hz panel, so what would happen if they get a 120Hz panel? Keeping that aside, Android flagships still has an advantage of having it in the first place, and with improvements, they are getting it to an uninterrupted experience. Samsung Galaxy S20 already has higher refresh rate, and with Galaxy Note 20, the company is working on newer technologies to push it to a further appreciative level. According to DSCC CEO Ross Young, the Galaxy Note 20 Plus will have a 6.87 inches of display compared to the 6.8 on Note 10 Plus, and because of that, it will see a small increase in resolution to 3096 into 1444 pixels. Also, it will have some changes in fields like pixel density, aspect ratio, and undoubtedly the refresh rate, which is 120Hz. The biggest change that it has and means a lot to the company is the new low temperature polycrystalline oxide display, aka LTPO display. As the name suggests, this type of display is mainly used to lower the power consumption, and thus it will boost the battery life of the handset. This type of display is currently used on Apple Watch Series 4 and 5, and for a better idea, it can save up to 15% of power consumption compared to the usual LTPS OLED display. These types of displays are exceptional and therefore affects the pricing. So you can believe that the Galaxy Note 20 Plus is going to be an expensive deal, and to cover that up, Samsung will launch Note 20 with a 60Hz display which will also follow LTPO technology, but because of lower refresh rate, it will not see a substantial jump in pricing. The Galaxy Note 20 will also have a bigger display compared to the Galaxy Note 10, and all these changes that make it a suitable handset. The display that Note 20 series will use are going to have variable refresh rate, so the phone will automatically shift between the numbers according to need. Like if there's an application which cannot run 120Hz, the phone will drop down to 60Hz, causing no problems. The official also says that there's no Ultra model for Note 20, and Galaxy Fold 2 will behave like one. As we talked about it in the previous video, the official also confirms that Samsung is working on an entry-level foldable phone that would cost around $1,100 or 83,000 rupees, and the quantities will be limited to 55,000 worldwide. The phone should look like the current Galaxy Fold, but I think it will see some additional changes, and at this price, it means a lot. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about Galaxy Note 20 with 60Hz display, and also would you go for an entry-level yet premium Galaxy Fold 2? I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.